Hey, how's it going? Said, good to see you all again. This is Rock coming with you for a VOD review. This one is your Cursed Hollow match versus Rainbow Shrooms that you guys had from NGS Week 2. As we're sitting here reviewing for the game, as always, we talk about what's our win condition, draft, map, anything special. So, first things first, we have a new Barak that pretty much means that we're playing pick or all in again. So we want to be able to get kills. We want to be able to burst off of the 2 to 4 stuns. You want to be able to cocoon something and find kills. This might be a little interesting. So they have 3 really good cocoon breaks. So it might be difficult, but you might be able to also split them on the map really well. Um, their win condition is a mixture of poke and all in. And the reason I say it is Joanna is a all in tank, and so Joe wants to effectively throw a Blessed Shield and get kills. And when that's available, hypothetically, kills will happen. Then Gul'dan is purely a sustained damage mage, right? And then Deathwing is interesting. If he goes Q build, he's definitely a mage too. So they kind of have like no real secondary frontline. So you might be able to get a lot of really good damage and opportunities on top of their lack of other body. But one part that's going to be difficult for you guys is you don't have a way to necessarily manage Deathwing, right? Maybe not till late when Sonya, if she decides to, can go Crater. So with our laning arrangement, it looks like we've got that. We started the camp pretty much right on time. So one of the things that'll be interesting about your composition is that um, Sonya and Phoenix are your best campers. So one thing, just I said, I'm like, I don't know if you had a chance to watch the macro review video that I sent you, but something to remember is pretty much the first 3 minutes of every Heroes of the Storm map should be pretty much scripted for what you want to do and what you want to accomplish. And so with that in mind, taking camps at different timings can make or break the effectiveness of what you want to do. So the first thing to note is you've got the shrine at 30 seconds, or the objective will tell you where it's going to be, whether it's going to be top or bottom, right? So we do know it's bottom. So since we know it's bottom, we want to take this camp as fast as possible, which we did. So that's good. This camp, right, is going to be pushing middle. And so we want to take this camp, if possible, before the 3 minute mark when this is up. So that way they have to choose, do I want to answer the camp or do I want to fight at the objective? They should also be doing the same thing, except for in reverse. They should be doing this camp first to put pressure, and then this camp to time for whatever the super late is, like 2:45 or something. So that way at 3 minutes, you guys would be stuck in a position of, do I answer the minions pushing top, or do we take a 5v5? They have a pseudo global in Deathwing, so you have to watch out at level 7 for the stupid meteor pings that can interrupt channels. But there's not a real global, but it still has the opportunity to potentially, they can stall here while Deathwing pushes and supports those giants, and it can be difficult. So, something to think about. So, in your first 3 minutes here, you want to make sure that you've got your rotations down, you've got your camps out, and you're able to get stuff done. So, right now, I'm going to say like they did their hard camp, so they're definitely on track and doing it correctly. And then Ming is going up to top, and so hopefully Ming's going to cover the lanes. So that way Phoenix and hooray! Well done. You guys need to do that camp extra speedy, so that's why everybody's coming. Okay. Because, yeah, that mid camp is going to crash. The timing on this camp is going to be a little off, but as long as you're able to support middle, because the one thing you don't want to do is you don't want to leave camps unsupported, because then they don't do anything, right? So their camp here is going to get probably at least a tower, based on how it's currently working. So we're not too far behind, but they're going to get probably, at least, like I said, probably at least a tower. Half the wall here. Some good damage. Tychus, oh. Let's quickly look at what W Star was doing up there. Doing camp things, trying to clear the wave. If you don't remember W Star, one of the things to remember about wave clear on Ming, you actually hit the most minions when they're in the H shape. when you're doing wave clear, right? You want to be throwing your orb so it explodes and hits these 5 minions, right? You technically still hit 5, right? So it, like, the straight line's good too, but typically if you throw it when it's in its full H, like how this is looking, you're guaranteed to hit these 5 or these 5, whichever side of the H you're throwing it on when you go perpendicular. So you hit minions here, which is fine. That's how you get your wave clear done, but just something to think about. If the straight line isn't safe, you can aim for the H. Just need to position yourself like you did either here or up here in the bush and get it fired off. So we got our globe. Wave is cleared. Oh, and yeah, it's the CC ganks. Oh, the grenade. Wow. Oh my gosh, you almost got the trade kill. Okay, that just on the team there to call missings, right? Like, I don't know who Sonya's been dueling bottom, but that was 3 people who came top. Joe was middle, right? Joe's still middle, so somehow we didn't identify or call out that Tychus and Brightwing were missing. So they correctly somewhat timed this, right? Now it's pushing in the lane while we have to answer. Ours is pushing, but we didn't support ours. And so you're going to see that it effectively got nothing, right? Like, because we didn't stay and support this, like, don't get me wrong, we probably get a kill down here, which is good because that helps us get the objective, right? So they made a choice, but just trying to make sure that every choice you do gets value. So if you're going to take that camp, say it's like, make sure you get value out of taking the camp. And so they chose to overcommit here. And so whether you saw that or you just saw that Gul'dan was overextended, either way, but you got your pick. So now that you got your pick, you should be able to get the objective. You really want to channel it ASAP. Both of you should not be channeling this. So pick one, right? Someone on the team of 4, channel. Anubarak, if we saw they were last mid, needs to be watching mid to make sure we'd interrupt rotations and ganks. We have Joe showing bottom, so we need to find a way, if we can, to stop Joe from flashlighting our teammates, or at least punish her when she flashlights our teammates. So with that in mind, it'd be great to have Sonya in the bush here, maybe Anduin to follow up, if just a route so that way it stops, and then Anubarak probably up here with W Star channeling. Oh, you did it. You got it. You didn't need both of you, right? Because now they're getting a slight collapse. All good. We peeled. We're out. Well done. Good, 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 good. Okay, so let's see how we do the rest of our lanes, because we effectively are running, you know, more or less 2 offlaners, right? That's how Cursed Hollow's kind of played, is just 2 offlaners. They've gotten a little bit more structure damage than us. Probably won't be able to really kill Joe down here. Like, this is not a favorable, like, 3-man squad, right? Like, we can't kill anything with these people, right? Like, no offense to X, just like, this isn't get kills. If we're getting kills, it needs to be one of our 2 DPS. And so this is kind of why it's kind of awkward that we've got, like, if Vac is going to be our other anchor and Sonya's our other anchor, right? Then, like, our 3-man needs to be able to do things when it's not time for an objective. And so, like, we ran up here, right? It came all the way up here, but there's no ganks. There's nothing that we can do here. Like, we can help push, but, like, you're not going to kill Deathwing, the 2 of you. We made it out. They're channeling the objective for free. We tried to gank the Brightwing middle. Let's just back up real quick. Let's see how close we were on that Brightwing. Are we close on ganking that Brightwing? Because if we were... Yeah, we actually really were. We interrupted the route. Imagine if Ming was here. This is a dead Brightwing. Right? We don't want to be overcommitting resources to lanes that don't generate value. We sent 2 people top and got nothing. If we would have kept our 3-man strong with the Ming, this is a dead Brightwing. Like, Brightwing literally is half health just from a Nubrak and Anduin. So keep our 3-man together. I'm okay with having, you know, both Vac and X being our pseudo off lanes, right? And then, similar to Cursed Hollow, there's several seeds that are not safe or very dangerous for us to contest, right? So if you're not familiar, there's a specific pattern on Cursed Hollow on how the seeds will spawn. So the first seed will always spawn neutral, whether it's mid or top is random. But once it has spawned neutral, right, the next one will spawn opposite side, right? So if it's spawned on bottom, the next one must be top, and then it will be either left or right. And so now that we know that it's left, the next tribute is bottom right, because it has to go opposite. So it can't repick this location because it already did one in this column, and it can't do this location because it already went here once in this column. And it won't do the same side twice, so it can't go here. So the next tribute will be here. So if we know that the next tribute is going to be here, right, and we don't necessarily have a free gank or a way to force an even fight, we can just siege. Like, Sonya can sit down here and slam, right? We see that there's 4 showing and there's no Joe. Joe's not down here wave clearing by herself, right? We can take a whole wall. If we're willing to either poke or just communicate ahead of time, we're not going for this one, right? So let's see what you guys do. So we couldn't kill Brightwing. We ran up to the objective. We ran right into them. Oh boy. Looks like we're okay. Sonya went and did the camp. Again, we're top. We barely get out with our lives. Right, they're overloading top pretty hard here. Vax doing a good job. Vax can blink out. Yep, this is the reason why Vax is a pretty decent pseudo-solo lane. It's because you can trade health for shields and you have an escape. What did I tell you? It's on the bottom right. Okay, so with that in mind, we're up a little bit on XP, but we definitely don't want to... This is the seed, this is the channel that we don't want to give. The ones that are on our side are the ones where we're favored not only for fighting positions, but also for channeling. The reason we're favored on fighting positions is if we have to back up, we have 2 taps available, right? We can actually tap and come back. Compared to, for them to tap, they have to run, you know, all this distance to come back to tap. So... And then we also have potentially angles to attack from vision that we can do, and you can also shell things from over the wall to help get this. Alright, so we've checked all the bushes. We found Joe. Joe has blown D, so if we want, we can potentially look to kill Joe. Tychus is here. We missed. That's unfortunate. Sonya's just pumping the dude. Yep, I see no D. Yep, as soon as Joe doesn't have a D, Joe is a target. Every single time. And then this composition right now has the problem I was talking about at the beginning, where they don't have another body. So Joe is having to body everything because Deathwing is in the air doing the stupid, like, cheesy channel crap. Wait, did Deathwing not do it? What? Okay, let's back up. Did this Deathwing not... Like, he took the talent. Did he not even do it? Deathwing's in the air. 1 poke from Tychus. So we got our kill. What? Okay. This should have been stalled out by Deathwing like crazy. Right? Like, Joe and Tychus both overextended and died for no reason. You really have to be careful with this type of, like, arrangement. Because Deathwing should have been poking W Star this whole time, and Joe and them should have been waiting, or at least pushing out this bottom wave, and then once Deathwing's out of stalls, then they can look for a kill. But instead, Tychus overextended up here to stop, Joe blew shield, or unstoppable to stop, right? Like, I'm beyond surprised that you got this channel. Like, I understand maybe they didn't want to continue because they lost a player, but that's just bad play on their part. So, okay. Looks like we're calling for a gank down here. I absolutely love ganking the Gul'dan. Gank the Gul'dan on cooldown. He has no mobility. Wait for good patience. Up. Up. Oh my gosh. There it is, right? If you bring your Wombo, you can get picks, right? Well done. Bursted. Nothing they can do. Siege, 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 siege. Siege, 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 siege. Don't leave here. Don't leave here. You have Beetles. You have Sonya. Siege. We got our pick. Take our building. Right? Deathwing's going to get whatever he gets up here. There's nothing that we can do at this point. Right? By the time anyone rotates up here, you're going to have lost any advantage you have. You need to knock down this building. Because if they come to defend, great. It's now at least 4, right? At least 4v4. 4v3. right? Okay. They're 2 top. It's okay. We looked, we didn't see it. That's okay. We get this building. If we would have been... Ooh, I like this cocoon. If we would have been more decisive to attack this building faster, we probably could also play for boss. Now it's going to be too tight. Their Gul'dan's back up, and they have fear, and they have 2 fears, so they have a little bit better boss control than we do. Might be able to get this Brightwing. Good stun. Oh! So close. And then the fear. Feel free, Vac, to wait on your laser. I don't know if you want a specific cooldown combo to be called. Like, I don't know if X didn't crater there because X was low and was getting hit by stuff. But, like, really need to make sure that, you know, our all-in wombo that we're doing there has people locked down. We just barely missed, obviously, the light bomb. And then, did we have both stuns up when we did that? Because it looked like we did it in the right order. No, we didn't have our second stun. Oh, no, we might still have it up. Posted shield comes out. Nope, our stun just wasn't up in time. Because we landed this stun properly, but we missed our other stun. Oh, you didn't stun right away. Beluga, work on that combo. You really want to make sure that your stuns are synced. Like, I know this close range stun is really hard to hit because of where they're positioned, so you Q and then E to make sure that that guy dies. Because unfortunately, like, it got blunk away. I know W Star's also trying to make the play by, like, disrupting or pushing, but, like, you end up missing the kill, right? You would have gotten a building and a kill, and if you get the building and a kill, you can then play for boss again. But it's okay. They used fear. So we don't really want to play. They have 10 seconds. Yeah, I think it's a good call to give this objective. Oh, you're not giving. I was saying, like, this is... Objectives on their side of the map tend to be very dangerous because you're going to run into a problem where, A, it's easier for them to poke. They have good angles. They have one less well, which is nice, right? This one's pretty far to go to. So you're even on taps, but they have Odin, they have Deathwing poke, and they have Joe poke. So being able to channel this isn't really feasible. You have to find a kill. And we just face checked. Look where we are. We're stringed out here. Vax hitting the building. W Star's channeling. Beluga's trying to zone top, and X is trying to zone south. X needs to be pulled. Yep, but then we ran this way, so the X is still dead. Oh, the desperate prayer was good. Oh, X is still dead. Yeah, and then you end up dying for it. So, like, this is us being split and fighting for a greedy thing on their side of the map. You don't want to take fights when you're even. There's no reason to fight for that seed, right? We could have, instead of taking that seed, I'm okay with poking, right? We can have Ming potentially sitting here poking from here and then just blinks over the wall if she gets in danger. We could have Vac doing the same thing, like one of the two sitting here poking. But, like, we really shouldn't be trying to force a fight there. Almost killed him. We should have been looking to grab a camp, take boss, do something that is proactive on our side of the map instead of giving them an even fight with 2 of our ults on cooldown. 3 of our ults on cooldown. That's a good stun for Tychus. That's a good punish. Ooh, that was close. Right? Same thing. If a mobility character uses their mobility, feel free to punish them. Okay, we're going to the boss. So both teams could be doing boss right now, which makes sense. Good job checking the bush, Beluga. Yep, you don't need to tank that. Good job. We don't see them. We want to find them. Yep. That's, so we traded bosses. Looking good. Sonya's doing the camp. Okay, 3 of 3. So at this point, 3 of 3. This is an all-in. The only thing we want to do before this objective, if we can, is hit 13s. We see them bottom. They're rotating up. So we're going to be at this seed first and in position. So you guys need to make a call. We saw that they were bottom, right? So either A, we position for a gank, right? By speed boop here, or we look for a gank up here, right? Like we're here first. So we can look to blow them up on their rotation, since most likely Deathwing can poke us from the air. Or we can try and quick channel and force Deathwing to blow out all of his pokes. Right? But the number one thing would get 13, so which we're really close. There's Joe showing top, so we're not going to be able to potentially gank them on a rotation here unless they get greedy. But there's 13s. Alright, so we're here. See, we're calling for something over here by the Anduin. We're a little split. Can we get the fast channel this time? That's it. There's the Deathwing pokes. Okay. What on earth? What? Hey, that initial thing looked not in sync, but you guys definitely cleaned up. Let's try this again. We'll stay on this side this time. So this is what that thing of like, you guys are fighting on different fields. Right? So like, with our team being this far up here, Beluga and Anduin, we can't be bushing here anymore, right? Like we would like to kill them as they rotate up, but we can't be bushing here anymore. We don't have any support. We really need to be bushing up here now instead. Like we don't want to give them the flank angle, so a noob can kind of hang out here, right? Like if you look at vision, if you're playing with the vision game, you can stand right here and still see them walking into here and walking up here without revealing that you're sitting here. It's a weird vision mechanic, right? Like you see how it just now got illuminated because X came around the corner? That works here too for yourself. But, because effectively, like this Joe, again, they're not communicating. Joe thinks that Joe has to poke and is running in and almost died trying to get the poke. And then blue shield, blew one of the blink heals, and then we womboed very well right on top of here. So, I don't know if we get anything else. You should get poked again. You should get poked again. We got our building. We should get poked again. Yeah, this is one of those things where you need to send 2 people versus the Deathwing when you know that he can channel like this. Like, yes, technically, you know, Deathwing is just sitting there, but, like, he can eventually land on Speed Boop and kill him. Right? Like, sure, Deathwing's wasting his time. Right? So, okay, we got our seed like we wanted. Okay, this camp's almost dead. I thought you just started it. Yeah, we don't want to do camps during Curse. So, they got big red button out. So this is a little scary. We got our wall. Good job. We don't want to fight into Odin. Let's run away. Take our buildings. Get our XP. This is a little sketch. Good dig away. That's a free building. Yep. We see Tychus' top, and there's no Odin. So we're looking for that Tychus, maybe. Looking for a top building. Either way, the building shut down. XP wave. There we go. I think we get this building. Pretty much just focus the building. Gul'dan's showing bottom, so you definitely get the building. I guess maybe not. I didn't see how much time was left on the curse. I thought we had 10 seconds left. So, disengage. Okay. That's fine. We'll have 16s first. I do love that we're trying to push our advantage. So as soon as we have 16s, which you click the globe right there, we have an advantage. Let's try and use it. Oh. Oh, that bush is danger. That bush is danger. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was the last sync. Oh, it's okay. You just did bugs. Oh, you saved him. Oh my gosh. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, you're all dead. I was like, you gotta leave the bug to die. All right. So again, comes back to what's our advantage and what can we do, right? So let's back it up. So I agree that like we can try and find something here, but if we wanted it, we needed to go right away to this camp, right? And if we want it still, we need to all be engaging on the same direction and in vision. We can't be like blind throwing things here, especially a light bomb engage. We pretty much baited Beluga into going in. And then, because we baited Beluga from going in, right? Vac throws the laser, because, oh, he's in. Throw the laser, right? And since the laser got thrown, X is like, oh, I gotta stun that. And so he goes and stuns it, but it doesn't hit any of the squishies. And now Deathwing gets on our back line. And despite, being feared and stuck on that side, Speed Boop tries to pull him, and we're all dead. So, yeah, that was a little greedy. We didn't have to be there, right? It's technically an even fight once but we had a talent tier. We just need to fight together and fight towards our win condition. Joe taking vision, that's fine. Doesn't really matter. Oh, that's a problem though if it's more than Joe. Ooh, yeah, we're dead. I didn't think he needed to be there. I was just saying Joe is taking vision. Okay, so they're gonna try and even up the game. Brightwing's topping off somebody, no big deal. At least we do have one of the best anti-siegers in the game in Ming, so this is helpful. Yep, yep, yep. There's a good stun. There's a good... Oh! Could we have actually landed that combo? I don't know if we could have. I don't think we could have landed that stun combo on him, could we? I can't tell if it's because we missed or if it didn't fire out fast enough. I feel like that could have been a hit, but they had critical miss Brightwing anyway, so she would have been topped off just fine. Okay, Blessed Shield missed. Cocoon's good. Oh, okay, no kills. Overall, that's fine. Alright, so this is their 3 of 3. It's on our side. Deathwing showing middle. We definitely want to at least poke this out, right? Even if we can't win it, we want to poke it out. We're looking to the camp. The camp kind of helps. I guess there's not a lot to do, right? Like, we're getting the lanes cleaned up. Oh, Beluga. They've been missing for a while. And I don't think we have Q. We need to check our bushes with that Q. Right? I don't think we checked this bush or this bush. Right? We know they're not middle, which is where Deathwing just landed. Or where last was seen. Yeah, you need to check this bush with a Q. You face check this one. Right? Like, both of these need to be checked by beetles or Qs. Right? You have a beetle talent. Right? If you're not familiar with this beetle toggle talent, right? Like, you just dismount yourself once you have it auto-activated, and a beetle just pops out. And the beetle would walk into this bush for you, and because it always goes to the nearest lane. So you could have had a beetle check this, and then Q check this. But instead, we walked right into it, and got polymorph before we could dig out. So that's their objective now. Goodness, this is actually quite back and forth. I thought you guys were going to be in control after how good that early game went. Okay, so they need to be... We want to defend where we can. This camp is good because it actually doesn't get nerfed by Curse. They're running... Ooh, they missed their Blessed Shield. How close was that? So did we not position well? Oh, he just missed. That was definitely a dead W star if shield hits. Laser attempting to cut them off. Being topped off. They get this building. They're like too busy trying to fight you instead of hit this building. Okay, Ming's got a good poke. That's a good stun. That's a good light bomb. Well, fear might be enough. Nope, wasn't enough. Alright, we got our kill. We can run him down now. Run him down. That's right, run him down. Run him down. Did we not take the blink reset talent? I thought we took it. Yeah, hero takedowns reset warp. You need to be warping. Warp, warp, warp. Every time you see a kill, push warp. It just flat out gives you more damage. Warp, 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 warp. Alright. Yeah, we gotta do some homework. Obviously, we can't do it all. We got our kill. Trying to answer what we can. I do agree we should take the boss once things are cleaned up. You don't need anyone else down here for boss, honestly. It's only a Deathwing. You guys probably could have cleaned up a little bit more top, or gotten this top camp out, and then gotten boss. I'm okay with playing together, though. So, this is one of those weird calls where you're almost to 20, they're dead for about another 15 to 30 seconds. What's the most optimal thing you can do with this time? Because you want to make sure that this boss counts. The wave is not coming to help you, right? So did we take this boss as a denial, or did we take this boss thinking, oh, we're going to knock down this building? Right? I agree with doing boss because we were here. It's one of the biggest things we can do while we're here. But now what do we do once we're done with it? Because you really do want to support bosses when you can. You can try while the boss like waddles around to take this camp too, to take it quick because they're not going to be up. But then again, the next question, do you support middle camp or bottom camp? Anub was looking over there. Anub's holding, nope, he just revealed himself. He's clearing the lane. So we're going to support middle while the boss is there. Which kind of just, you know, progressively makes sense, right? We're kind of like just doing whatever's the closest, fastest, which is fine. You may not always make the best call on what to do. You just need to make the fastest call, the most aggressive that you can with the time that you have. You have 7 seconds before Joe's up. If you can manage to kill this Tychus before that, wonderful. If not, we need to just be safe from the Gul'dan. The Gul'dan fear is what's going to kill us. Good attempt. Okay, we have 20s. You've selected your rewind. Nice. Okay, we got our building. Well done. Now we can choose. Do we support the bottom boss? We have 20s. It is a 5v5, so we have an opportunity to take a talent tier fight. Or do we go our boss? Right? I see all of our ults are up. I think we go for a fight. Okay, or you can just take the top one. I like this too, because now boss goes core. So now we go boss. Oh. 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 No. No, 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 no. There's nothing left fighting for anymore. We need to get to boss. Okay, now this is dangerous, because now we're, like, positioned. You can see that we called boss, and now we're not... Oh. Okay, we're back in position to fight together as a team. 20 versus 20. We're trying to now gank them as they rotate in. Obviously, Deathwing's the one target that can't really be blown up by Beluga, but we've got lots of percentage damage. That's their shield used. Good pull. That's not a bad choke. Tychus is out of the fight. I see you're here on the Gul'dan. The rewind was good on Gul'dan, but no follow-up. That's a good stun. Good second stun. That's our first kill. Reset, reset. Keep it going. Keep it going. We want core. We want core. Yeah, keep it going. We want core. And that honestly should be game. Gul'dan is not usually enough to stop him by himself. And based on the timer left in here, yep, that's game. Okay, cool. I do think that we had some flubs. We really got to be careful when playing a noob and making sure that every time we E in is death. Either the person you're on is dying or you're dying. So make sure that your E is good. Our little wombo combo is super cool. Potentially call out who we want to do what with it. And then we also need to make sure that we're playing, I'll say playing together, but like we had a couple fights and things where we were just not next to each other, right? Like we're in the vicinity, but we can't help each other. So we really need to make sure we do that. Overall, a good game. I do think that having a second offlaner in Phoenix is really nice. Phoenix can also help do camps and stuff to support Sonya. Obviously, Ming isn't the best camp taker, especially if she has to try and help with this one. She can help with more PvE. Looks like it's the same build as the other night that we were reviewing games. So I actually like this one into their comp because you're potentially poking with your Ws compared to when I talked about yesterday when you had Variant Taunt. Like, you can't miss with Variant Taunt, so you get the bonus damage here. obviously you like Calamity, and that definitely puts pressure on Joe when Joe's the only front line. So you guys got to abuse the fact that they took a Joe and not a secondary front line and went like Mage Wing Diablo, or not Diablo, Deathwing. So, yeah. This time we went Tal Rasha's instead of the. I don't remember if you took the increased knockback distance from the last game or not. But obviously more damage is good. That's fine. This makes some fun plays. I really love having repulsion, but if you don't think you're gonna get plays off of it, then obviously take the more damage, right? So that looks fine to me. Phoenix things. I agree. Q Quest is probably the easiest and most consistent damage. When you lose shields, you take movement speed. That's pretty good, especially into their comp. Being able to run down a Gul'dan or run down a Tychus or something can be really good. So the fact that you were playing in with W Star, I like this. This talent sometimes gets people killed because they blink in over aggressively. But as long as you're managing your shields and all that stuff, this is super fun, right? Being able to blink in as a reset twin with W Star is super cool. I love Planet Cracker. I don't think you guys have enough slows. Like, you don't have like a Diablo or something that's going to always get value for the Purification Salvo. So having Planet Cracker, I think, is the right choice. The hardest part here is making sure that we actually are able to fire it to net kills. So whether that be, you know, a new Barak calling ahead of time, I'm going in, and you just trust and you fire the laser on the go in. There's a couple of those lasers. I know it has a slight channel time. A couple of those lasers only hit for like maybe half a second. So if we can get someone locked down for 2 seconds, right? Because if you lock someone down for a full second, that's 1,000 damage, right? So just make sure that we can lock someone down for a full second between our four stuns. Especially if we can hit a pile, that'd be even better. Wait. I'm not sure about this one. I guess this could help with the Gul'dan. I don't know. I will have to ask my Phoenix expert which one you take here. Because I feel like if you're warping in more, right, you want to get shields. Because you take 50% less damage as soon as you warp. So, like, this syncs with this. But, like, if you're getting, like, poked down, right, so your shields are getting always just kind of, like, ticked down, then this could be good. Because then, every time you're healed, your shields do receive charge, so they get some shield back. It's awkward. Like yeah, I would have rather have seen the synergy of when you go in, you can stay in, rather than just trying to outlive them. Um, this is typically what goes with Q build, because then you get more Qs off. Oh yeah, max damage. Yep. This is for the Deathwing, 100%. Correct. And then I guess you're not afraid of dying. 100% more attack speed and phase bomb. Yeah, this makes sense because you're not the only Deathwing killer, but the only way Deathwing dies is if you and X are on him. So this is fine. More attacks, more speed. If you're afraid of dying, don't be afraid to take this talent. This talent's amazing. And then I was thinking this, because now your Planet Cracker's on a 60-second cooldown that lines it up with Cocoon, and so now you've got a guaranteed like always when to use it. And the width is huge. This is the big laser. Firing my laser. Sonya things. Slam. Merc. Yep. Leap. Speed. Slam. Perfect. No problems. No questions. Crater if you need to for the Deathwing, because the Deathwing can't walk out of the crater. But that's only if you are having a problem killing Deathwing or killing things. Crater can make plays. Nubrak. Beetle. Yes. Dig. Yes. Yep. So this one's kind of weird. Oh, no, you've got it. This is more damage. This is more burst. So this is the burstiest talent on the tier. If you take beetles to do like pushing and stuff, it's fine, but this is the burstier damage on the tier. And then I agree with Epicenter and Rewind. I like it. Looks good. Just make sure you use your beetles. I don't know if you strategically were using them or turning them on and off to get vision and stuff. That one time down here, if we would have just dismounted and used our beetle to scout this bush, and then we could have queued this bush, we are alive. So just think about using your beetles, not just having them on all the time. because the beetles also reveal where you are, and the beetles also can push the lane if you're not careful. Anduin. So this is the ping-pongy one again. Like I said, I think if you can make it work, it's amazing, but sometimes it becomes a dead talent because you can't always guarantee who you're going to heal. So I tend to like these two better. This one here, let's see, did we complete it? We got 5. So, especially into a Deathwing, I don't expect you to complete this, right? They only have 1 melee body. So I don't know how many. I'd have to go back and look, but I don't recall any of the secondary targets that you rooted died or had a chance to die. So I think either one of these two would have gotten you more damage. But obviously, if they're clumping like that, it can be good. Your Desperate Prayers were fine, except for the one where you kind of got stuck. You saved, I forget, I think you saved Sonya over here when she like jumped over, and you like Desperate Prayer saved her, and then you pretty much were just dead to rights too. So, but that was more, again, more of like the team not doing the same thing together, because you had, you know, Phoenix up here, a noob kind of here, one channeling here, and then like Sonya channeling over here, or trying to walk in and zone on this side. So light bombs are good. Just the one that you inted on for, or you made poor Anubrak int on. And then again the double pulls thing. I agree with double pull, especially into fear and all that stuff. Being able to save 2 targets is huge. And then I'm not 100% sold on this one still. I don't feel like any of your pulls save someone because you had this additional healing on it. So, and then light bomb. Yep, I like it because if a new Nubrak or someone goes in, then they have more armor. So it's cool. All right, sweet, great game, guys. It's a fun one. Hopefully we can learn some stuff there. We can work on our rotations and being more purposeful with our camps, as well as working on our wombos and being able to follow up on each other's abilities and make sure we correctly are scouting and looking for bushes. But overall, it looked like a good game. Good job. All right, I'll catch you on the next one. Rock out.